Okay, so there's something that I want to talk about, and it is the Derek Chauvin murder trial. Did you all watch it? Are you all watching it? Because this has been perhaps one of the most anticipated. This is one of the most anticipated trials, and what really hurt me the most is that I did not see any kind of compassion from Derek Chauvin during the trial. I saw witnesses breaking down on stand. I saw them crying, and just to think that the person who literally committed this murder, I would call it, it's obvious murder. Anyone who watches it can see that certainly it is murder. And I couldn't even watch. There's so many times, multiple times, that I have to just turn my head away. I didn't want to see it. Heck no, I couldn't look at it. It was just so, in my opinion, just devastating. And the mere fact that this man was able to sit in court, did you all see him? He was in court just sitting down, writing on his little notepad. And I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, where is the compassion? I want to see what he is writing in his notes. Like, I would really like to take a look at his notepad to see if this man is actually just doodling. Is he writing something for real, or is he just trying to distract himself from what is going on? I don't think that Derek Chauvin understand what is up. Let me just comment on the prosecutors. I thought they did a really good job. They called on multiple witnesses, and these witnesses seem to be very, very credible and believable. They seem to be very distraught about what was going on. It was just an emotional time. They all seemed just very emotional, and I really did like that. What do I think is going to be the outcome? I don't know. He's a police officer, you all. He's a police officer. But I do know that videos don't lie, and the mere fact that we have this video to work with, the mere fact that this video is so emotional. You know what I heard? I heard that there were jurors who were just very disturbed by what they saw as well. There were people who could barely even watch what was going on. They couldn't watch because it was too disturbing. In fact, there was one juror yesterday, if you remember, if you were watching, you noticed that they said that they were going to take a 5 minute break, and they did break, but it wasn't for 5 minutes, y'all. It was for a very long time. And it was said that one of the jurors, got so emotional that it was just, they had to take a break. And they didn't require, well, they didn't need medical treatment, according to them. They say that, she said she was fine and she didn't need it. But she also said that, this trial has taken a toll on her. She has stress because of it, wasn't able to sleep at night, and so on. It was painful, no doubt about it. And I'm sorry that this is just so drawn out. I understand the importance of it. This case, we have multiple witnesses. We have a video that they have to dissect. We have experts who are going to come and talk about Derek Chauvin, his death and what they found on the autopsy, and, perhaps medical doctors and so on. So I understand that this video is going to be drawn out, but you guys, I just want to see Derek Chauvin put in jail. In my opinion, he should be charged for first-degree murder. Obviously, that is not the case. There are three, I believe it's second degree, third degree, and another lesser charge. The highest charge would grant him 40 years in prison. The other one, I believe, 20, and the other one, 10. In my opinion, these should be run consecutively and not coherently. I don't even remember what it's called. But that's how it's supposed to be, because this man is so ridiculous what he's done. He is crazy for doing such a thing. And he's crazy for thinking that he could actually get through. I mean, this was broad daylight. I'm sorry for rambling you all. This was broad daylight that he did it in. And he seemed like he didn't have any regard for what was going on. He seemed like he didn't care about, um, you know, the victim, George Floyd. You know what was very emotional for me was when the little girl, 8 years old at the time, had to say that I saw this police officer put his knee on the neck of George Floyd. No 8-year-old had to, should have ever have to go through something like that. That was crazy what I saw. And this other 16-year-old, obviously, that was very disturbing for her. Blatantly, talk about it. There were so many people pleading to George Floyd. But there was another video, and this video for me was just quite shocking. What I saw. And that was after the EMT arrived, and I think the fire truck, I don't remember, but EMT had arrived, and they were putting his body, loading his body onto the stretcher to put him in. And the way that Derek Chauvin, did you see it? Did you see how he just grabbed up his body and with zero regard? I wouldn't do that to a hamster. I have hamsters. I wouldn't do that to a hamster. How could you possibly do that to a human being? You know what I mean? And to see him sit in court breathing. He shouldn't be allowed to breathe because George Floyd was not allowed to breathe because his knee was on his neck. He killed the man. He killed the man right in front of over 12 people. He killed the man, and we saw that. The mere fact that he was dressed up in a suit, looking all professional, when George Floyd's neck and head and face was on the dirty ground where he killed him, annoyed me. Every time I'm watching this, all the time, I was just so angry. I was just so angry that I had to see and come face to face with Derek Chauvin looking so beautiful in his little suit. While I know that George Floyd's body is 10 feet under. It's crazy, But I don't think that Derek Chauvin understands. Well, he knows what he does, obviously, and he knows he's guilty, obviously. But he has zero regard for human life. I mean, if that video is played in court and you can just be writing on your notepad while all of this is going on, it shows me the kind of person that you are. I don't know. I just feel that this person is just, he's horrible. He's horrible. And I hope that, I hope he goes to jail, and I hope he be put in prison for the rest of his life. I would have sought the death penalty because people give death penalty to people who have zero regard for human life. I believe that Derek Chauvin would do it again. I believe that if given the chance, he would do it again. How could you kneel on a man's neck? And I heard that it's not for 8 minutes. I heard it's not for 8 minutes like what we thought. It was for 9 minutes and something second that Derek Chauvin's knee was on George Floyd's neck. And while the people were pleading, not once did he decide that, I'm just going to take my feet up because it's not fair. George Floyd shouldn't have gone out like that. He was a person. He had people who cared about him. He had a life. And then the other officer, I don't know what his name was, but he's responsible for, keeping the crowd at bay, making sure that everything was okay. And with the nerve to be telling people that, well, he shouldn't have been doing drugs anyway. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? This is crazy. The kind of life that, it's just messed up, man. To be honest, I don't even know. But I don't think that he has 1 ounce of sorrow in his bones and his body. And I just don't think that he cared. When I saw George Floyd's girlfriend, who they were living with, and how much she broke down on the stand, George Floyd was loved by many people. Based on what I've heard, he was living a beautiful life. He had a lot of friends. He seemed to be a very nice person. He had a mom that he cared about that died recently. Just so much going on in his life. You know what I mean? He was living in Texas. He moved to Minneapolis, I believe, to change his life, to get a fresh start. I'm sure that he didn't know that he would have gone out like that. But let's see, because I am watching. I'm not even an American, but I'm watching to see what is going on. And if he gets away with it, then there is just no hope. I would completely just lose faith in all of humanity if he gets away with it, you know, because this is on video. This is not a person saying, "Oh, I see, I saw, I think this happened or I think that happened." We all, no, 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 no. We all saw him kneeling down on the neck of George Floyd for 9 minutes. But I'll be watching this trial, and I very much hope you'll be watching the trial too. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's see.